Unlock your true potential with the Leadership Community, where we empower men to embrace self-awareness and authenticity. Introducing the Leadership Community, where we believe in helping men become the best version of themselves. It all starts with self-awareness, and we encourage men to take a step back, pause, and reflect on their thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Embrace their authenticity and break free from societal expectations. Here are just a few testimonies from individuals. Leadership helped me develop self-awareness and embrace my authentic self. And now I feel more confident and fulfilled. Question: are you ready to unlock your potential? If so, join the Leadership Community today. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Phenomenal day to you. Phenomenal day. Welcome on in to the Leadership Podcast. I'm your boy, Dwayne Roberts. How's everybody doing? The Leadership Podcast is all about empowering men. Our goal here is to simply influence, inspire, and empower men to make the shift in their personal leadership by becoming the best version of themselves. It's here we'll share tools, tips, and resources that ignite self-awareness and authenticity. I want to say thank you for taking a vital step towards becoming the best version of you. On today's Leadership Podcast, fellas, we're talking 5 ways to be a blessing to your wife. 5 ways to bless your wife. Y'all ready to get started? Come on. Listen, before we do, man, I want to send a special shout out to our Patreon leadership community. I want to say thank you for out to our new subscribers and members to the Patreon leadership community. Man, that's a tongue twister. I'm so excited. You can support the Leadership Podcast numerous ways. 1, you can head over to the Patreon community and become a valued member. 2, you can support by subscribing to the podcast where you listen to podcasts. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, as well as YouTube Podcasts. While you're there, leave us a comment, leave us a feedback. Let us know how we doing and what we can do better to better serve you. We truly appreciate it. Hey, fellas, May 25th, watch for it. The Human Behavioral Masterclass. That's right. A free workshop that I am hosting online, a virtual workshop that we're hosting online. It's all about helping men navigate this space of, 1, defining masculinity for themselves, but more so helping men better understand why they do what they do. So that's the Human Behavioral Masterclass for men. Come on in, go over to the webpage, register today. Also, I want to invite you fellas out to our Thursday nights personal growth masterminds. Take place each week, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You can learn more by visiting the webpage, DwayneHRoberts.com. All right, guys, so here we go, man. We're talking 5 ways to bless your wife. 5 ways that we as husbands can be a blessing to our wives. I got to admit, I really do. I really like this. And so, who am I talking to? Today, I'm talking to those men who saying, man, how can I add more value to my wife? And what's some simple things that I can do? What's some small choices I can make to really show my wife that I appreciate her, that I value her, particularly because Mother's Day is coming up. Now, I got it. Mother's Day is about your mom, not your wife, right? But I don't know. I have to consider my wife because my wife is the mother of my kids. And so it's important to my kids that their mother is celebrated just as much as it's important to me that my mom is celebrated on this day called Mother's Day coming up, right? This weekend. And so, and my kids are a lot older, right? And today they take charge, man. They got mom squared away. But it hadn't always been that way, right? And I got to admit, man, if you like me, you can be, each year can feel like a task when it comes to every eventful calendar date or event. You know, I got to admit, my wife is she I don't know, she's like one of those women who like to celebrate every particular event day on the calendar. Man, it can be polka dot day. My wife wearing polka dots. She's celebrating polka dots. It could be wear pink day. My wife is wearing pink. It can be Earth Day, Flower Day. I don't care what day of the it is. My wife is celebrating something. And now I got it. We got the traditional dates, those Christmases, New Year's, and Easter's. That's important to everybody, right? But gee whiz, if I can tell you anything that really get under my skin, is celebrating all these days, and they just seem like they to me it just seemed like it's money, cash money day, like Valentine's Day, ching ching, like St. Patrick's Day, ching ching, like birthdays, ching ching, Mother's Day, ching ching. It just means to me that money is coming out my pocket. Not that money is a big deal, but I'm just saying, gosh, that's just how I feel. Like, why we got to celebrate so many days? And these events are very special to my wife. I'm not sure why, but they are. They're meaningful to her. Let's say that she just is that type of person, and I'm pretty sure it's a lot of women just love to celebrate every day of the year, no matter what day it is, right? And so, here's my question for you guys as we navigate this space. And my question is, how do you treat your wife at home when no one is watching? Uh-oh. Now, D, what does that have to do with all those days? Well, it has a lot to do with those days because when those days come around, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, the truth is, I feel a certain kind of way about it. I can be honest, I do. I don't think I need to spend money all the time. I don't think these days really are that important. That's how I feel, but it's not how my wife feels, right? And I in this place of wanting to be a blessing to my wife, I had to take some time and kind of do the reflection boy. D, Dwayne, how can you show up this time around and be a blessing to your wife? Literally, that was the question that I began to ask myself. How can I be a blessing to my wife? And here's what I realized, that to be a blessing is really about unconditional love. It's about acceptance of a person. Really, it's not about you to be a blessing. And so, with that in thought, I was saying, wow, what's some ways that I can bless my wife? What's some ways I can bless my wife? And I read this article by John Trent where he talked about the acronym BLESS. B, be committed. As a husband, you bless your spouse or your wife when you sacrifice yourself, when you sacrifice your pride, when you sacrifice your demands, when you sacrifice your wants for hers. Be committed. Bless. Love or loving touch. See, in marriage, meaningful touch communicates intimacy. So, fellas, be willing to give your wife a back rub. Here is why. Not so much so you could be intimate, but it reduces her blood pressure. Now, I got it. It may not do the same for you, but watch, there's a benefit in the back rub. And when we are in loving touch, the truth is we are communicating our intimacy, our closeness, our connection. Not so much sex, but just the connection, the oneness, right? Bless, express value. To value something is to attach great importance to it. Can you express value that your wife brings to you? I think you express values through sharing kind words, I think you express value by speaking life and gratitude into your wife. I think you share kind words by taking time and writing a little I love you notes or I'm thinking about you notes and leave the sticky notes laying around. That was something that I would practice. I remember this. The kids and I, we would go to the Walmart, the local store, pick up some cards, come back home, sign our name, and then on the birthday or the Mother's Day or what Valentine's Day, whatever significant day of the event it was, we would give mom the card, my wife the card. And here's what dawned on me. The woman down the street got the same card. The person, the lady across the street might have the same card. And we begin to stop purchasing cards and begin to express our value by writing cards. You know, one of the things I truly enjoy is when my wife would go to bed, I would take a sticky note and maybe put it across her lunchbox or on her favorite water bottle. You know, just let her know I was thinking about her or that I loved her or that I appreciate her. You know, express your value. Bless. S. See her potential. See your wife's potential. Fellas, you have to pay attention to your wife's strengths. You have to pay attention to her unique gifts. You have to pay attention to how she desires to serve. It's important to her, you know? So encourage her vision. Encourage her to share her vision. And ready? Help her follow through to reach her goals, her dreams, and vision. S. Speak to her heart. Listen, our words have power, you know, and because our words have power, I want to encourage you to build your wife up. Bless her in word. Yep. Because your blessing in word to her really helps her find grace in what she does. Tell your wife how much you love her. Bible says that um, the word love, it shows up over 300 times. Isn't it interesting that the Bible shares the word love 300 times? I'm curious to know, do you think God loves you? And if so, why do you believe that God loves you? I think you believe it because you heard it so many times. You may have read it so many times. And God loves you. So how much more should we express our love to our significant other, our wives? Is that good? Listen, I want to close this out. Because I want to give you 5 simple ways that you can bless your wife. Oh, these are great, guys. You might want to write these down. 5 simple ways that you can bless your wife. You can bless your wife by 1, sharing the wealth. What do I mean by that? Guys, be committed to spending as much on her as you do on your own wants and needs. Oh, man, go out there and cash out. Cash out, baby. Get her what she wants. Get her what she's been desiring. Listen, go cash her out, man. Share the wealth. 2, your symbol of love. You know, I'm talking about those wedding rings. I don't have mine on right now. But we're talking about those wedding rings. Now, here's something interesting. I didn't always wear a wedding band. Not because I didn't want to, but more so because my hand, they puff up and then they shrink down. And therefore, the wedding band didn't always stay on my hand. And quite frankly, or quite honestly, I lost it. Right. And so I wouldn't wear a band. And for the longest time, I wouldn't purchase a band. And just to have one, just to have a wedding band. I bought a cheap one, just because the one I lost was expensive, and I didn't want to lose another expensive wedding band, so I bought a cheap one, right? But then recently, I had a change of heart, and I went ahead and invested in a new wedding band. Yep, I did. One that fits better, a lot better. It doesn't slip off as much as the first one did, and I'm not prone to lose this one. Thank God for that. But when I bought the wedding brand, I also realized something. You know what? How can I show her or bless my wife in return? Now, I think it was a couple years prior, we had just upgraded her ring. And so I took her ring and cleaned it up, got it back sparkling and shining. And when we went to the mall, we went to the jeweler, had the jeweler put the little shine on it, clean it up, make sure the diamonds are secured in the ring. And when she got that ring back, guys, you think them diamonds were sparkling. You should have seen the look in her eyes. You should have seen the smile on her face. You know, just the thought of the symbol of love, the rings in marriage. You know, make your wife smile. Go take some time, clean that jewelry up, man. Clean your jewelry up, and bring that peace of mind back to her. Number 3, get committed and do a chore. Be committed and do a chore. Now, not any chore. Don't go do your favorite chore. What I want you to do is I want you to identify a chore that your wife ain't favorable of. See, I know this about my wife. She can't stand cleaning the bathroom. Bingo. So I do a chore. I do the chore that I know she hates the most. Yep. And that's not the only chore she hates. And so all the chores that I know that she's not favorable of doing, guess what? Your boy picked them up and I started doing them. Oh man, I can't tell you. What that's done in our relationship. So, guys, you may have to learn how to turn on the washing machine. You may have to learn how to operate the vacuum cleaner. You may have to wash the dishes, mop the floor, sweep the floor, whatever it is. But identify that chore that she's not favorable of doing, and ready, go do the chore. Number 4, be committed to what she's interested in. Oh, that's good. Yeah. What is your wife interested in? Sit down, have some conversations about her dreams. Yeah. Talk them out. You know, if she says, hey, listen, I want to go back to school. Fellas, sit down, pull out the budget and see how you can make it happen. Even if you can afford one class, get her on track to following her dreams. Support it. Maybe she's talking about, I just need a girls' night, or just want to go to church without the kids one night a week. You know, fellas, get the kids, go do something. Let wifey have that time, and go to Bible studies without the kid. Maybe she can find some time with her friends without the kids. You know, sit with the dream. Really get clear on what she wants to do and help her follow through on her dreams, goals, and visions in life. Man, game changer. And then lastly, and this one this is truly a game changer. I encourage every man to implement this last strategy. Number 5, check your attitude. Oh, come on, guys. Check your attitude. I think at some point in time, we got to have a new outlook on life. We're going to have to build some new habits. And one of those new habits may just require you to check your attitude. Leave your attitude at the door. Don't bring it in the house. Leave it in the car. Leave it at work. Leave it wherever you need to leave it. But when you come into your sanctuary, when you are in the presence of your family, listen, be willing to lead yourself well by adopting or adapting new habits in life. Yeah. Here is why. Ready? Because it's attractive to your wife. It's nothing like being in a room with a man who's confident. It's nothing like being in a room with a man who's smiling and jovial. It's nothing like being in a room with a man who has your attention. He's not screaming and hooping and hollering. He's not aggravated or annoyed. He's not sitting on the opposite of the room in silence. He's checked his attitude. There's no attitude in the house. And ready? You become attractive. I could not figure out why my wife would just come up at times and kiss me. It would puzzle me. What was that? It was, you got the right attitude, baby. Bat, slap on the butt. Oh, oh yeah. Yep. The magic about to happen now. Oh yeah. When you come in with a new attitude, some better habits, man, your wife love it. You become more attractive to her. You want to make more whoopee? Fellas, leave your attitude at the door. Listen, 5 simple ways to bless your wife. 1, share the wealth. 2, clean up those symbols of love in your marriage. 3, be committed to do a chore that she's not favorable of doing. That was 3. 4, commit to being interested in what your wife is interested in. What's her dream? What's her value? And then lastly, number 5, go ahead, check your attitude, chunk it, throw it in the garbage, pick up a new outlook, build some new habits. Boy, you'll be amazed of how the relationship dynamics change. I'm your boy, Dwayne Roberts. This is the Leadership Podcast. That's it, says the clock on the wall. Man, listen, if these 5 simple ways were helpful, listen, head over to the Patreon Leadership community in the chat. Let me know which one of these particular ways that to bless your wife have you implemented today. Listen, to your wife, go ahead, serve up a happy Mother's Day. I'm your boy, Dwayne Roberts. This is the Leadership Podcast. As you always hear me say, realize this, that your success is in your hands. Have a phenomenal day with purpose. God bless.